Tyler, what are the emotions now that the season has finally come to an end here?
Well, it's always tough, especially when we end this way. We certainly would have liked to be to be in the playoffs right now, but it was a strange year for everyone. Um, it's nice to kind of see a light at the end of the tunnel. Watching some of these playoff games with the fans, that it gives you a sense of hope that next year will be a bit more normal.
And obviously, the status with the coaching staff is up in the air here at the end of the year. Just your thoughts on, Travis Green and Nolan Baumgartner and the job they've done here.
Yeah, the talks the guys have had, in the room, the past couple of weeks, with everything going on. Um, I know we all think very highly of the coaching staff. Um, from Travis to Nolan to Nui and Kinger and all the guys. I think we have something good going in the group right now. And I think everyone feels like we're moving forward. And we don't know a lot about what goes on behind the scenes with that stuff, but all I can say is as players we think very highly of them.
Next up, we'll go to Ben Kuzma.
Hey, a couple from me. You want to call it a trophy, so you know what the first year in the NHL is like. Second year could be pretty difficult. What did you see in Quinn's season this year in terms of adjusting to a game with other guys kind of being more familiar with him? What kind of season do you think he had?
I think Husey played well. He's such a gifted player. He does a lot of things on the ice that I think don't even get the recognition that it should. But definitely, like, players on other teams aren't going to be as surprised by Husey anymore. So they're going to be watching more video on him and watching a lot of the things he does that a lot of the players in the league can't do, and how to better defend it. So definitely, didn't surprise as many guys on the other side of the ice this year, and I think that in itself is an adjustment. But I thought Husey played well, and he's only going to get better for us. You can see it in his game.
And what did you see in Jack Rathbone in the sense of a guy who looks like he may have a game that's NHL ready?
I really enjoyed playing with Bones. He as soon as he stepped in, he showed that he's an excellent puck mover. Breaking the puck out with him, I felt like we developed a lot of chemistry pretty quickly. And obviously when you look at his skating ability, that helps a lot too. So I thought he took the most out of his opportunity stepping into games. And I'm sure he'll carry that into next year's camp. And hopefully he can just keep going with it.
Okay, we have one more hand raised at the moment, and that's Daniel Wagner.
Tyler, you've been in the league for 12 years. You've been on good and bad teams. When you look at this team, what do you think is missing in order to take the next step?
It's hard to get specific right now, but I think when you feel like you have a group of guys that when you feel like you're close and just need to take a next step or two, as a player, you just want to see additions. You just want to see just add as much as you can to help the group. So I think everyone's very optimistic about where our group is heading and the potential it has, but we do need to take some steps forward to get there, and adding as much as we can is how I look at how we need to get better.
And when you look at your season and you're entering the off season, do you look for things that you can improve on in the off season, or is the off season more about maintaining at this point in your career?
Oh, you're always looking at things to improve. I try and, digest and, once everything settles down, take a look back at the year and, look at some video and see, if there's an area you can improve going into next year. No matter if you're a first or second year guy in the league or a, 9 or 10-year guy in the league. I feel like that's important to do as a player. You don't want to ever be content or satisfied with where you're at. And, there's always room for improvement. So it's just a matter of dissecting and figuring out, certain areas that you can improve in.
Next up, we'll go to Chris Faber.
Tyler, we've talked about this young core in Vancouver over the past couple of years, and what they're able to do on the ice has been so impressive. Do you think that now that they've been around for a couple of years, are you expecting to hear a little bit more vocal voices from them in the locker room now?
I hope so. I think our, us guys that have been around a bit, we've tried to encourage those young guys to be more vocal in the room. And I think as, a couple of years have gone by now that, they've had that experience, 2 to 4 years now for a lot of those young guys. They're the drivers of our group, and we want them to be vocal in the room. And, if they can take a bit of a step in that aspect of, our building as a team, then it'd be great for the room. Those young guys, they do a lot for us on the ice, and, I think they can take a step off the ice to become a little bit more vocal.
And we've talked about the coaching staff a little bit, and Ian Clark's another one without a contract going into next year. We've seen what he's been able to do with the goaltenders, and Thatcher obviously loves working with him. How important is that? And do you think that just being able to add a guy like that who can support your goaltenders moving forward, how big is that for the organization and you guys as a group?
It's big. All the guys really like having Clarky around. He's one of the best coaches I've had at holding guys accountable, and it the way he does it, the guys really enjoy it. So I know how highly Demmer and Holtz think of him, and how much they feel that he helps their game. You look at what he's done with them. He's proven to be a very valuable piece to the coaching staff. So, I don't work a lot with them, obviously, not being a goalie, but we know how much those guys like him as a coach, and I know they really hope he's back to work with them again.
Our last question for Tyler Myers goes to David Quadrelli.
Tyler, Elias was just in here talking about how frustrated he was this season. How frustrating was it for you guys to not have him around for such an extended period of time?
It was tough. Petey's arguably our best player, so it was tough as a group. But the biggest thing is we just want him to get healthy. I've been part of a season where I didn't play much of it, and I know how hard it is mentally, never mind the injury itself, but how hard it is, as a mental grind, not being able to play and to be in the room with the guys. So I'm sure it was a very tough year in terms of that for Petey. And I know he's feeling better. He's close. So I think he'll have an opportunity to have a good summer and to come back, 100% next season.